Hi all. Today we will be discussing about career in data science. Basically, why I am making this video is because there are maybe many people who want to start their career in this field, but the problem is they don't get enough information about what exactly is the meaning of a career in data science. Google is filled up with lots and lots of information, but it end up making everybody or aspirants more confused about the field. And if they take suggestion from somebody else, they also end up misguiding these people. uh, Everybody at the end of the day want to understand what exactly is the meaning of career in data science, how to become a data scientist, what exactly is data analyst, what exactly is machine learning, what exactly is machine learning engineer, how to start a career, how to make a career, and if I don't know Python, whether I will be able to make a career in data science. So basically, we will be trying to answer these questions, and we'll try to elaborate what exactly is the meaning of career in this field, and whether you can make it or not, or how and where to start from. So guys, from this small piece of paper, I'll try to explain what exactly is the meaning of career in data science and how you can start exactly. So basically, if you talk about career in data science, we need to understand what is the meaning of data science actually, and what exactly is data scientist, and what exactly is analytics, what exactly is machine learning, what exactly is artificial intelligence, and all those things. So basically, we will try to answer those questions as well. So if you would have understood this or heard this term that data is the new oil or data is the raw material, you would have understood or heard this statement from the mindset of a data science industry. Okay, so if we speak broadly, our data science industry is divided into three three major buckets. If you see it from the bird eye angle view, one is the data, second is analysis, and and third part is reporting. Okay, so data analysis and reporting. So if you see from a bird eye view, these are the three major pillars of data science industry. And being in an industry, you might not be working in all the three fields, so you don't need to be necessarily working in this plus this plus this. You can either work on all three, or you might be working on one of these three. Okay, uh, frankly speaking, not all people work on all the three parts of or three pillars of the industry. They are attached to one of those one of the parts, and everybody's role becomes equally important. To understand it in more depth, let's try to understand what exactly is the meaning of these three fields. So when you talk about the data, so basically data is something on which everything will be happening. Okay, that is the reason data becomes extremely important component of the of this field, because if this goes wrong, everything goes wrong. Okay, so before that, let's try to understand what type of data you have. You have either structured data, or you have unstructured data. Okay, the example of structured data will be any data which is in table form, and example of unstructured data will be random comments like Twitter comments. So all these are unstructured data. Okay, so when you are dealing with data, or you are in this part of field wherein you deal with data, your primary objective is to take care of the data and to transform it into a form where you can actually utilize or extract information out of the data. Okay, so when you have data in structured form, or we can say table form, you can use some basic tools. One of those tools is SQL, which is very famous tool. SQL can help you leverage out information out of the, so SQL, or you might call it structured query language. If you don't have any idea about SQL, that is completely fine. It is one of the language to deal with tabular or structured data, which is primarily used to extract information from databases. Okay, and if you have unstructured data, the objective becomes first to convert it into structure form and then extract it using any ideal data points. Okay, now here the most important thing is to take care of the data in most appropriate manner and to create a data which is easily analyzable, which can easily be analyzed. Okay, so to, but the problem is data could be huge. Data could be having millions of rows, could be have completely different type of difficult to handle type of structure. As an example, let's suppose we do millions of searches on Google every day. So if Google tries to manually manage those searches, it will be extremely difficult to manage those things. Okay, so there could be situation where your data becomes huge in size, and your data becomes real time. Real time means it is getting generated every second. As an example, you are moving from place A to place B. In that scenario, Google Map is capturing your information from point A to point B. It is a real time data. Okay, so such type of data, if you try to transform them into database, then analyze them, then convert them, it becomes extremely difficult. So you need more advanced and capable tool to manage such huge volume in such real time. There comes a more little bit advanced tool known as big data. So big data are a kind of tool which involves various type of languages like Spark, Apache, etc., MongoDB, and various other tools which helps you manage such amount of data. And ultimately you will be using either any of the tool or combination of these tools to understand how to create or manage a data. Okay, with this you would have understood that it involves a lot of processing, huge computational parts, huge computational understandings, technical understandings, and you have to deal with lot of coding as well. That is the reason in this part of the industry you will be mostly those people will be preferred who are computer science people, who have studied computer science, because they are generally good with codings, and this part of the field involves huge amount of coding. Okay, additionally they could be there could be any many machine learning models as well. I'll explain you about the machine learning in some time, which needs to be put in action. Again, it involves a lot of coding. There are also such type of people are involved, so these people also becomes machine learning engineer or big data guys and so on. But the primary thing is they are those people who are good with computer science. So till this part you would have understood that data becomes extremely important and what type of people can manage this thing. So if somebody is working in this part of the industry, he will be mostly dealing with data, managing data, analyzing data, understanding data, not exactly analyzing, understanding data, creating data, and all those things. If you are not dealing with all the things and you are in analytics industry, you will still be using SQL, because SQL is used for basic data pulling as well, and primarily everybody would know SQL. So SQL becomes an extremely necessity to understand, even if you are not a coder, even if you are in other part of the field, you would need to at least understand this much to make your career in data science. Okay, so with this your data is prepared, so output of this field will be the input of second field known as analysis. In analysis you will be trying to understand some insights, or you will be trying to create a story, or will try to understand the trend which your data is showing. So basically your objective is to take out insights out of the data. Okay, so there are many types of analysis. Your analysis could be exploratory, wherein you explore what your data says, that if I have collected age, the average age of the person in my data is 25 years. So you are just exploring, you are not doing too much of the things, you are just seeing what your data is telling you directly. Exploratory can sometimes be also called as descriptive stats. Descriptive basically means you are just exploring the data but using a bit of basic statistical terms like average, median, mode, and all those things. Your analysis could be prescriptive, wherein you give prescription about certain thing. As an example, if we give 500 rupees discount on every shopping of 5000, we will be getting a cost of 1 crore rupees, but the net profit will be 25 crore rupees. So at a cost of 1 crore rupees we will end up getting 25 crore rupees. Net amount will be 24 crore rupees after subtracting 1 crore of cost. So here you are giving a prescription, and all those prescription require the backend analysis of that data to reach to this point that your 500 rupees discount is good enough to generate profits. You could be doing predictive analytics as well, wherein you will be doing predictions. As an example, somebody asks you that uh, can this person default on loan. If you create a predictive model, you will be able to understand that this type of person usually defaults, so you should not give loans to such people, and these type of people doesn't uh, default, so you can give loans to such type of people. So all these, specifically this and many these requires lots and lots of algorithm. Okay, so basically to analyze any data you need to be good with three things. First, your business understanding. Why business understanding? Because if you don't have any idea of the business, you will not be able to solve its problem. As an example, whether the person will default or no, default or not, that is a yes and no problem. Whether this person will secure rank in the IIT, that again is a problem of yes and no. But both yes and no requires difficult type of computation, although their algorithm might be same because their output is same. Okay, so there comes business understanding, which end up creating lots and lots of difference in each of your analysis. Second is your tools understanding. So basically to deal with huge amount of data and taking out insight is not a job which can be handled manually. You need certain tools to help you in finding out the insights out of the data. There could be many tools, but primarily these are the three tools which are used. One is Python, second is SAS, third is R. There are many tools in the industry right now, but these are the leaders in analysis phase. Primarily everybody has certain advantages and disadvantages. Similarly it goes for all these three tools as well. And third is your statistical concepts understanding. If you don't understand the statistical concepts, you will not be able to analyze properly, because when you are saying that the mean age of your group is 25 years, you should know you should have a good understanding of what mean is. When you say that you are trying to solve this problem using linear regression, you should have a good understanding of linear regression, then only you will be able to find out insights out of it. So a bit of statistical understanding is good. Few people get scared that statistics is required, mathematics is required, so I will not be able to do it. So to tell you exactly, you don't need to learn and cram every statistical formulas. You don't need to manually solve those mathematical problems. It's just you need to understand these concepts so that you can use them using the tools, either Python, R, and SAS. Calculation of all the statistical methods will be performed by a tool, but actions will be taken on you. So the output of one algorithm will be given by Python or R or SAS, but you should have an understanding which can be converted into a important insight. So if linear regression is giving me R square of 96%, whether it's good or bad, you can ignore R square wala part, but this is for your understanding. Okay, now since this part is analysis, so analytics goes a little bit deeper as well. As an example, I say I want to find out whether one person will come and shop during a Diwali period or not. That is a yes or no problem. Yes or no problem. So every year Diwali comes in, and I create certain algorithms and models which will help me find out whether a person will come in Diwali or not. But this is a manual task which you need to do every time when you are planning to use this model for your business. But it is not, since Diwali comes once in a year, so it is feasible enough to recreate the model again and again, but there are many things which can't be done again and again. As an example, when you write data, Google gives you an option science, because Google gives you the words which are mostly used with data keyword. Okay, so if people starts writing data mathematics or data tool more often than data science, the result of Google will automatically change. So if they manually try to upgrade these model, it will be extremely difficult. Therein comes the concept of machine learning. Okay, so machine learning makes your models or your statistical models a little bit deeper, because you are able to predict more appropriately using machine learning algorithm, and additionally it learns by the algorithm itself. It learns by the error generated by algorithms, so it automatically gives you more accurate result than normal statistical algorithms. Okay, so machine learning is a type of advanced algorithm of analytics which gives you more accurate result than the normal statistical models which we discussed earlier. Okay, but once again you are manually dealing with mathematical models, either they are machine learning model or normal statistical model, but manual implementation is very hard to achieve. As an example, let's go back to our older example that Google refreshes the result. So basically Google has set up its parameters and algorithms in the machine which generates the result on the front end screen. So there is one screen, your algorithm fits in this screen, people interacts from this screen, so it runs the algorithm every time one user connects with it, and every time it changes the results. It keeps refreshing the results. So this machine is doing all the parts. So what you have done is you have incorporated the machine learning algorithm in this particular machine. If you have incorporated your algorithms in a machine, the concept becomes artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is a machine which is using a machine learning algorithm at the backend to generate the results. And if this algorithm goes hugely deep to very small level of data points, as an example face recognition, in face recognition your phone takes every pixel of your face and try to match with the original picture that your phone have. And since your face will be continuously changing, you might grow a beard, you will grow older, still your phone will be able to identify you. Why? Because every time you take the snapshot, it matches with your existing picture and then refreshes it at the background as well, that this person now looks like this. So it is continuously doing a lot of processing at the back end, trying to understand what exactly is happening, how your data is changing, and then refreshing that data as well. If and since it involves is with very small level of data which is pixel, and doing a lots and lots of computation, means such computation, if you run on a normal system, might take years to execute. Such type of concept is known as deep learning, where you are learning from deep level of data understanding. So deep learning is a new concept which is widely used these days. Okay, so this whole is what you do in analysis. So what type of people are preferred here? So since you know that you will be coding a bit, but you don't need to worry about if you are not a coder, because Python, SAS and R, all these are tools, are kind of tools which doesn't involve too much of the coding. So they are very easy, it is very easy to code in these tools. So you don't need to worry about the tools when you are not a coder, because they can easily be learned. You are not working on a C++ kind of a programming which is extremely complex to manage. So anybody who is either from mathematics, stats background, they are preferred because they have a very good understanding of one of the component which is stats. Anybody who is from computer science background, they are preferred in this part of the industry because they are good with algorithms, making coding and all those stuff. And people from economics, people, they are also preferred because they are very good with the concepts. And anybody who is from the related field are also preferred in this type of industry. So even if you have any studies which are closer to any of these, you will be good enough to work in this sector. Okay, till this time we have understood two components of data science industry. But the problem with these two components is they are understandable by a technical person, but when you go to a CEO and tell him that you ran a logistic regression model, you created a big data structure, architecture and all those things, he will hardly understand. At the end of the day, what that person understand is the result. Okay, that is where the third part of the industry comes into the picture. Although it looks very naive and many data scientists doesn't prefer this part of the industry, but frankly speaking, it is extremely important. And one reason is, and one of the example is Tableau do this part, and you just know that it was sold with a huge amount of money, because people understand the importance of reporting. That is the reason these tools comes into the picture. So in this part of the industry, what you will be doing is you will be explaining the results. It could be either via PPT or via dashboard or via report. And since this part of the industry has its tool, this part of the industry has its tool, this part of the industry has its tools as well, and few of the most commonly used tools are Tableau, ClickView, Power BI, and you might have understood that you should know Tableau, you should know Python and all those things, but frankly speaking, if you know any of the tool of these industries, you will be able to work in that part of the industry. So all these tools are handy tools. There are many other, but these are the most common one, which helps you create reports. And you can use Excel as well, obviously, because it is one of the most handy tool wherever data comes in. Okay, so what type of people are preferred? If you can explain a story and create information, you are good to go over here. Now all these three parts are equally important, but I have tried to explain what is the importance of these three, and these three in combination is known as what data science is. People could either be working on data part only, or analysis part only, or reporting part only, but all of these are working in the industry. A data scientist is somebody who will be majorly dealing in this part, doing a lot of interaction with this part, data part, because they will be doing a big data and transforming it into a information. Data analyst will be somebody who will be analyzing this part, primarily prescriptive or predictive or exploratory analysis, to understand what directly insights can be gathered. Machine learning engineer will be somebody who will be working on this part, arranging the data and creating its pipeline, so that any machine learning algorithm created over here could be created live and could be used. Data intelligence person will be somebody who will be mostly working in the reporting side, telling the information, what information can be gathered from the data. Okay, so all these fields helps you create a career, and you could be falling in one of these. You could be very bad with coding, but you could be good with understanding of the concept, so you can work here. You could be very good with the reporting parts, you can work here. You could be very good in coding, you could work here or here. So it depends on you how you want to shape up your career and where you want to make your career. But what this is what a career in data science is. I hope this would have made your mind a bit more clearer. If you want to continue getting more insights, such insights, you want to learn more algorithm, you want to learn more tool, kindly subscribe to my channel. It's a new channel, but my end objective is to help everybody learn for free, and my objective will be to create sequential videos so that you don't get confused and you actually get information out of it. Thank you very much.